focus on now is the auto sector, because the wholesale sales for the month of September were very strong, but industry veterans indicate that this is not a true reflection of retail demand, because retail demand has still been quite subdued. Escorts is the stock on our radar. It reported very strong wholesale sales in September with a big recovery month on month as well. Bharat Madan, the group CFO of Escorts, joins us on the phone line to talk about that. Mr. Madan, good morning and thanks for being with us. You saw a 9.2% year-on-year growth in wholesale sales in September. But can you tell us what was the retail growth and how is the trend looking like for the next few months?
So normally we don't track the retail numbers, but obviously in this particular period, the retail has been much stronger than the wholesale number. The wholesale number is restricted by the capacity issues and the suppliers' component availability. But on the retail side, the growth has been much stronger than the wholesale number. I think it's upward of 30% plus in the month of September.
Okay. So, Mr. Madan, what's your sense about the year? If you look at the way retail is responding, what kind of a growth may you finish with?
So, look, I think the issue, from the industry is on the capacity side. So, I think demand is very strong. As everybody knows, the retail is booming now. So demand side is not a concern at all. I think most of the industry and what we are struggling with is to cope up with that demand. So, I think the supply side is a major issue. We are already working at a peak capacity now, so doing more than that. And still the demand continues to be strong, so which we are not able to meet. So, I think that's a bigger challenge as of now, which is a good problem to be in. But yes, that's something which will probably restrict growth overall, but otherwise, as we indicated earlier also, we still expect the industry to maybe report a high single-digit growth now this year on a full-year basis.
Okay, but Mr. Madan, good morning. Is the peak of sales now behind in terms of the monthly data, or you think that can be improved?
No, I think the festive season is still to sit on. So next 2 months will also see good growth numbers. That's a strong season months now. So I think only the inventory position will start improving from month of December onwards when the demand slightly subdues. Then I think we'll be able to build up inventory for the upcoming Rabi season, which will start from end of February. So till that time, definitely overall the sentiment look positive, I think, on the demand side.
Okay, sentiment is positive on the demand side and you're forecasting a high single-digit growth for the industry in FY21. That's good to hear. Could you give us some regional trends as well for the first half of FY21? Where are you seeing the pockets of demand pick up? And also, how has Escorts' market share evolved in these regions? I mean, what is the total market share as of now?
So overall, I think now if you look at the demand scenario, it's now growing on a pan-India basis. So initially in the few months because of the lockdown, we had issues. So we saw in some pockets in the north, the opening was delayed. We saw good growth happening in the southern market. But then subsequently now with the lockdown opening up in most of the state, I think now the growth is now pan-India basis. So we don't see much disparity there. On the market share front, obviously, since because of the inventory issues in the availability of supply, there's been slight dip in the market share in the first 6 months. So I think about 30-40 basis point dip has happened in this. And looks like I think the next 2 months will also be a challenge because of this constraint. But I think from December onwards, we should be able to pick up now on the overall number side.
Okay. Bharat, a final question to you. How will margins pan out? Will you be able to do something like 14%? We hear that there are metal price pressures which are rising, raw material prices.
Yeah, that's right, Lata. So the commodity prices are moving up. So we are also getting a lot of pressure from the supplier side for increasing prices. And in some cases, we also get price increases from September month. But obviously, it's not yet been passed into the market. And I think that really will happen only after the festive season is over. So maybe towards middle of November or November, we'll probably take the call, depending on how the industry reacts to those pressures. But otherwise, the margin-wise, because the other costs are low, the fixed costs have come down, the company taking a lot of initiative under the current environment to cut down on this cost. So we think the margin improvement will be good. So, and also since we are all operating at a peak capacity level, so your operating leverage will also have a good play here. So this year we don't see the concern on the margin side, probably will be do better than what we are indicating.
All right. Bharat, here's wishing you a great festival season ahead. Thank you very much for joining us.
And thanks, Lata. Thank you.
Okay, now before I invite the next guest, can we